What's going on, y'all? Welcome back. It's Ars. Let's get productive. So today I want to talk about a new set of plugins. Now, this is a set. It's 3 plugins that are going on sale right now by Cradle Audio. And the name of this set of plugins is State Machine. Now, they have State Machine Slow Drift, they have State Machine Faded Keys, and they have State Machine Low End. State Machine Low End focuses heavily on bass sounds. State Machine Faded Keys gives you a bunch of different keys augmented in different ways to give you some really cool textures, vibes. It's really good for lo-fi music, I've found, but you can use it in anything. And they have State Machine Slow Drift, which is going to give you those really airy pad sounds and synth sounds. They even have some synth brass sounds in there. So this set of 3 you can purchase right now, all 3 of them for $89. It's on sale. I'm not really sure when the sale ends, but each one of the instruments individually can be purchased for $39. So let's not waste any more time. Let's get right into it. State Machine, Cradle Audio. Let's see what this thing is all about. So, as always, I have Logic queued up, and this is State Machine Faded Keys. Now, like I said, there are 3 instruments available. You have State Machine Faded Keys, State Machine Slow Drift, and you also have State Machine Low End. If you head over to the website, you can see they have it available right here. You can get the whole bundle, like I said, for $89, or you can get the individual instruments for $39. So a really great bargain. If it was me, I would go for all 3 for $89 because there's a lot of sounds in this thing and there's a lot of capability inside of this thing. You'll see in a second when I take you through some of the effects and, you know, some of what this thing can do, how you can blend different sounds and kind of get your sound design on. There's a lot going on here that you can take advantage of. Today, I'm going to take you through the whole UI and some of the sounds inside of State Machine Faded Keys. I'm going to focus on that one because that's my favorite one personally. But as far as the UI is concerned, and as you can see, if we dive into the UI, it's really cool. You know, I really love what Cradle Audio does as far as their UI designs. It's always really clean. The resolution is really high. It's always really futuristic looking. Really cool stuff to keep you inspired while you're creating. But I think we can just look at State Machine Faded Keys and get an idea of what all of the instruments are going to look like. Because whether you get State Machine Low End or you get State Machine Slow Drift, the UI is basically the same. This one is State Machine Slow Drift. As you can see, the UIs are almost exactly the same. There's a bit of a color difference. If we dive into what's happening in the UI, like I said, really clean look, really sharp resolution, really dope stuff. You even have a bit of animation when you play some of the sounds. This circle right here inside the UI is going to kind of move to the sounds that are being played. When you use this knob in the center here to blend back and forth between the sounds, it gives you an actual percentage of how far over to the right you are or how far over to the left you are, just to give you an idea. So that's really cool. So as you can see, if I'm playing the sound right now, you can really blend the sound inside of this thing to get you some interesting textures and interesting presets. So let's go a little bit more into the UI. You'll see down here, this is where you have your effects section. Now you have a scale right here, and you can actually change the scale of what you're playing. So you turn scale on. And you can change that up, and they have everything from a minor scale to a major, a harmonic minor, and it will automatically change that for you if you turn on the scale effect. So that's a really cool effect to have, but you also have a chord generator right here. You turn that on, press 1 key on your keyboard, and it automatically turns it into a chord. And you can go through the chords to see if you want a major chord or a major 7. So you can really fool around with these two effects right here to get you some interesting sounding chords and some interesting sounding presets. You also have a built-in arpeggiator right over here. You have an EQ section right down here that acts as your high pass and low pass filter, and you can tilt it over to the right for highs and lows. You have a bit crusher, a phaser effect, a delay effect, and a reverb effect. Now, all of these effects can be adjusted on the main screen with these knobs that you see right here. But if you want to dive a little bit deeper into the effects and make your own individual adjustments, say you wanted to change the size of the room and the reverb, you could go over to the audio effects section, and that's where you can make adjustments to the type of reverb you're using, the decay in the reverb, the tone. You can go over to the delay and make adjustments to the delay, the phaser, the bit crusher, the EQ. And then after you make those adjustments, you can go back over to the home screen and just use this main knob here to dial in that effect and turn it up and blend it between the dry and the wet signal. So that is really, really cool. You also have your MIDI effects section, and that's where you have your scale effect, your chord effect, and your arpeggiator effect. So those are the effects that really adjust the actual MIDI notes that are being played. You have your synth right here, and this is where you can dive in deeper into the actual presets and the actual sound modules themselves and just really change things up. You have an LFO, source, a filter, an amp, and the same knob right here in the middle where you can blend back and forth between the sounds. But over here, you can click on this sound module A, and you can change the sounds up. You can change the type of sound you're looking for. If you want a bright sound, a dark sound, modulated, and then you can just find that sound, click on it, and then on module B, you can find that sound and click on it and come up with your own sound and make the adjustments how you want to make them. Now, you can link these layers if you want, and all of the things that you do down here via LFO, your filter settings and all of that stuff will be added to both layers at the same time. Or you can unlink these layers, and whichever sound layer you have selected, you can go down here and make adjustments to your filters, your amp, and all of that stuff for that individual layer, which is really cool because that's where you're able to start really doing sound design and carving out the kind of sounds you're looking for. So as you can see down here, I have layer A selected. So when I go over to the LFO, you're gonna see that green line moving with the knob as I turn it. That's showing that it's only affecting layer A. And if I was to select layer B, you'll see it's the orange line that moves. So you can use any one of these filters down here and make your adjustments for the individual layers, or you can link both layers and make the adjustments together. Then you can head back over to the home screen, and that just gives you a rough overview of everything that's happening. You also at the top here have your presets. So this thing comes loaded up with a whole bunch of different presets that you can choose from. And you can also favorite the sound. So if you have any sounds you like, you just click on a little heart and you can favorite that sound. So I'll click on that one. And if you want to go look at your favorites, you just go right over here to this heart in the top right corner, click on it, and it'll show any of the sounds that you favorited. Now, the main thing that's dope about this VST is the sounds. And there's a lot of similarities between this and the Prince VST, but you're getting it at a lower price point, which is really cool. But what I want to do right now, without wasting any more time, I want to get right into the presets and check out what some of these sounds inside of this thing sound like. Now, I'm not going to waste a whole lot of time going through every single sound inside this VST, but I'm going to just randomly pick different presets inside of this thing and just play some keys and let you hear what it sounds like. I'm gonna just start with all and just randomly pick sounds. And now I'm gonna click on, I just wanna hear what some of the arpeggiated sounds sound like. So as you're able to hear just from me messing around with a few of the sounds in this thing, it's loaded with really creative and really usable sounds. And that's key. I've noticed that lately, sometimes these companies are reaching so much to try to outdo the last VST that came out, or make something that sounds so interesting and so different than any other plugin that's out, that they go too far to the left. And the sounds are creative and they are really interesting, but they're not usable in a practical way. Like it's almost like they're just sound effects. And it's really hard to, at least from a hip hop perspective, make some really cool beats with it. So I love that this VST has really cool sounds and really interesting sounds, but they're usable in a practical way. And you can really spark creativity and really get ideas flowing just by playing around with some of the presets inside of this thing. So now what I want to do without wasting any more time, I want to get right into the cookup. I want to show you guys a beat that I made using the State Machine. But actually for this beat, I didn't just use State Machine faded keys. So I did use faded keys, but I also used all three of the other ones as well. So I used State Machine Slow Drift. I also used State Machine Low End. Now I will say, as far as the animation in the UI, I really love how the animation looks for State Machine Low End. It's really cool. You know, it starts off with this little block of what looks like some sort of solid metal, and when you play a sound, it gets really kind of liquidy. So that's really cool. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Let's get right into this beat that I created. Now, quick disclaimer, it's not mixed down at all. I literally just made this beat right before I shot this review. So we're gonna take a quick listen to this beat and see what it sounds like. So that's it. That's the beat I made using State Machine. Now, besides the obvious that I love the sounds that come inside of this thing, I really just love the fact that you can purchase any one of these VSTs individually to cater exactly to what it is that you're looking for at the moment. So you don't have to spend hundreds of dollars. You can spend under $100 and get a really dope VST as well. So that's really, really cool. And I really love the sounds inside of this thing. Like I said, my favorite is faded keys, but head over to the website. They have some examples on the website for each one of the VSTs sounds that are inside of that thing, and they all have really dope sounds. Slow drift is really dope as well, and slow drift has the synth brass category that I really enjoy as well. Faded keys doesn't have that, but I feel like faded keys is the most well balanced as far as like what you could use it for. You could use faded keys for like literally any genre of music, and I love that about it. So if you're looking to just buy one of these, I would definitely go faded keys, because there's piano sounds in there, but then there's piano sounds that almost sound synthy, so you're getting that synth sound anyway. But any one of those are dope. So shout out to Cradle. You did a really dope job coming up with these VSTs, but let me know what you guys think. Is this something you could see yourself adding to your arsenal? As always, if there's any new VSTs you want to see me review on this channel, leave it down in the comment section below, and I'll get to it as soon as I can. If you're new to this channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on your notifications so you can stay notified anytime I drop a new video, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.